And now time for a special edition of the H2G podcast, starring Tony Ray.
He hails from the great city of Perrysburg. The only thing he's good at is nothingness. He has won Employee of the Month the last 3 months being a stay-at-home dad. What's this guy's name again? Oh, okay, thank you. It's Tony Ray.
Yay!
Marvin Scott.
The best thing we can do right now is exercise our voices. I urge you all out there to exercise your voice. Use your platforms. We're using this podcast, and it wasn't easy for us to share these stories with you today, even the stories we held back from.
Richie Phillips.
I vehemently disagree with everybody on this. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the point. Highest paid defensive player. We can easily argue one way or another. He was the first round 2017 pick. Let's get into the character issue, because this is where I disagree with you guys.
Justo.
Justin, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I got a package here for Don Corleone. Is there a Don Corleone in the house?
Somebody's got to sign for it.
Featuring special guest, Christy.
But what if you have an ugly baby? Like, do you want to take it home? No, not honestly. Like, leave it there. I don't want it. And you want to come in and take pictures of my ugly alien baby? No, I don't want it at all. I don't want proof my baby was ugly.
And Alexandra Sedlak.
Listen to yourself. Understand who you are, what your passions are, what your skills are, what makes you you, what lights you up. Follow that. Like, stay on that path. Don't get distracted or do things just because you feel like you're obligated to or you should. Explore the things that light you up, because those are the things that you're probably here to do.
Welcome to a special edition of the H2G podcast.
Good morning and welcome to a very special edition of the H2G podcast. I am joined by a whole studio full of folks that I am very fond of. We have Tony Ray. How you doing, Tony?
What's happening, Justo?
Richie Phillips.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We got Marvin Scott.
What's up, Justin? How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. And we have two special guests. Count them, two special guests this week. We have Miss Christy. You might remember her from earlier on in the season. Christy, how you doing?
Good. Hey.
Hey. And we have Alexandra Sedlak back to hang out with us some more. How you doing, Alex?
I'm good. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. And so this week, guys, we are taking a break from our normal format. It's a little intermission, if you will. We're going to strip it down, no segments with just the six of us talking. And we actually feel like that is where some of our best stuff comes from. So it's kind of free format. Anybody got anything they want to talk about?
Me, actually, I would like to lodge a complaint against you four gentlemen. So last week or 2 weeks ago, you guys mentioned an exploding bladder. So that's literally all I can think of when I have to pee. And I have to pee all the time. So I'm like, oh my God, is my bladder going to explode? So thank you.
This is crazy that you just said that, because literally this morning I was wondering what it would feel like for your bladder to explode. I'm not even kidding. So I had the whole visual, like I felt it as best as I could. And then the fact that you just said that, I have chills all over my body right now. Weird.
See, we have impactful news, guys.
Who knew that an exploding bladder would cause so much havoc?
I know. We must have been telepathically communicating, Christy.
Must have.
Yeah.
We're on the same page here. And maybe that's a female thing. Happens to a guy and then we freak out about it.
Well, you know what?
Not pee. Like, just get it out and not let it out. That was part of the story.
Except for Tony. Tony had all these like, oh, you guys have never played video games before and used a bottle or...
How you gonna put me on blast like that?
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
No, it's actually really dangerous to keep it in. And like, there was a car dealership. I forget where this happened, but they were holding a contest for someone to like drink so many gallons of water in one sitting and then not pee for 24 hours straight. So this woman was like, and then you win a car if you could accomplish it. So this woman entered the contest. I don't know if they made her sign a waiver or what, but she got to like hour 23 or to the very end, won, and literally died like right after because it like flooded her system or something terrible like that. So basically, when you have to pee, just pee. Don't hold on to it. It's the moral of the story.
Right.
She should have just peed while she was doing the contest.
What?
Yeah.
Should have peed while she was doing the contest.
Yeah. Yes. You had to drink like literally gallons and gallons of water, like an insane amount, and you had to you weren't allowed to pee for 24 hours straight in order to win this car. Dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
I'm pretty sure even.
And wait, what kind of car was it again?
Right. What did she die for?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right.
We can't know the validity if it was worth dying.
Yeah, because if it was a used car, I'm gonna ask how many miles was on it, and I'm gonna say it's definitely not worth it.
No, but Google it. You'll find it. This happened a while ago, but I've never been able to shake it from my memory.
Yeah, it's terrible. I think you can drown from drinking too much water, even if you do pee on like a regular schedule. So, I don't understand Yeah, like I think you can
Do you have a
drink too
regular
much.
schedule?
Well, I mean, I got everything on a schedule.
What's going on? I'm sure
Oh, it's 3:15. I am
Let me
late.
check my Palm Pilot.
Yep, I can pee. We're good.
We're good.
That's funny. I feel like you know when you've had too much water. Hopefully.
Maybe you
And you
need to
don't-
like get the right ratio of like water and spermicides. Sorry, Tone. Gotta catch it again.
I knew it was going to come up, so it's okay. Here at the H2G podcast, we don't allocate dying from holding your pee to drinking too much water. Just want to clarify.
Or drinking spermicides for that
Or
matter.
drinking spermicides. You can drink the sperm, but not the spermicides. So, speaking of drinking water, Christy, how do you feel about forcing your family members to drink so much water during your workouts that you put on every day? Just so you all know that she does a workout regimen for her family members, and they get on and do a call on what, Google Duo? Is that what it is?
Yes, Google Duo, yeah. Well, I'm pregnant and fat, so I'm like, I can get Tone, maybe. And my stomach just pops out. I have to make them drink water. These people drink like 8 fluid ounces of water a day.
Oh,
So
God.
they're all dehydrated, and then their muscles are going to get sore, and then they're whiny. And whiny people are just, ugh. So when your family's whiny and you have to listen to them, no thank you. So yeah, make them drink water.
So, Mom, if you're listening, Mama Wisman, because you listen every show, make sure that you drink enough water, but not too much water, and you use the bathroom because we don't want your bladder to explode.
Watermelon juice also for people who don't like water. I mean, that's a weird thing for people who don't like, because we all need water. But whenever I work out, I like crave watermelon juice now. It's very hydrating. It's like natural electrolytes in it. It's very replenishing. This is an advertisement for watermelon juice.
Obviously, what are they paying you?
I love it. It's my summer go-to. It's so good.
I have
They
a
have
question
so-
for Marvin. So, Marvin, happy belated birthday, by the way. I'm sure that I didn't say it last week on last week's show, but your birthday was last Wednesday, August 5th. August
you're
5th.
on time. You're on
August
time.
5th. So,
Actually, you're not on time.
let us know what you did. Did you have dinner on a roof, or what'd you do on your birthday?
I did actually spend it with my family. Got to go back home for the first time in 6 months and see my mom, see my nephews, see my friends. Got to see everyone. And it was really a blessing, with this COVID and everything, you learn not to take everything for granted. So just that on top of turning 30, it's refreshing. You know, I just feel like reinvigorated just by seeing them in person and just it's an overwhelming feeling just talking about it. But it was a blessed birthday, and I'm glad I got to share some of my happiness with you guys, and I'm really glad that I got to have everyone there.
Well, that's cool. We appreciate it.
So you're a Leo, Marvin?
Yes, I am.
Aw, I love it.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
I see the golden energy radiating from you.
I don't think
it's positive, you know. I try to tell these fellas that during game of the week all the time. When I act out, it still comes from a place of love and positivity.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying, you know.
100%. Well, I'm so competitive on this show, and I know Richie's competitive. He is the worst loser in the history of the world.
You haven't been listening to the last few shows.
Baby. A huge baby. This is why our marriage only lasted as long as it did. You should not play.
He's speechless.
Monopoly deal with this kid.
First of all,
you cheated. It's not fair.
No.
Wait.
We're not talking about that. We're not going there. Our marriage didn't end because of my inability to lose gracefully. I'd like to clarify that. But I will say this. I am a bad loser. It's true. I don't know what it is. I'm a sore sport. I don't like losing. I always do well in things. So when I lose, it frustrates me because I expect to win. And then it doesn't happen sometimes. Particularly with the rigged system on the H2G podcast, just like Marv has been mentioning. How do I answer the most questions and still lose? I don't understand this, but it happens every single week.
And just to clarify,
I resemble that.
Just to clarify, they were never really married, and he did not cheat on her because Alex had this look on his face.
Did you see my face?
Yeah, she was like, "Oh my God, he cheated on her," and they're talking about it on the radio.
I was about to go get some popcorn. I was like, "Yes, drama, something I don't know about." I was like, "Yes, Christy, I love it. This is so passive aggressive."
Oh, wow.
I am a pro of passive aggressiveness.
No. I never cheated on. Did not happen.
Not really married. Got it. Okay.
Not really married.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh.
Go get that popcorn, girl. Go get that popcorn.
Go get it.
Give me
Popcorn water ready.
Get that watermelon juice.
popcorn water. If popcorn water becomes a thing, I quit.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we have lots of more just fun to have here and more conversation. We're going to go over to a track by Joshua Scales called Loco. You're listening to the H2G podcast.
Rappers are toast, they wantin' to smoke. I hope they don't choke, cause I ain't going loco. going loco. I had to go crazy. Was feeling too lazy. But I cannot let that happen. I cannot let them face me. So you tryna count sheep. And you tryna stay asleep. But it's time to go, G. Still running at full speed. Cause I got the answer. I got the real thing. I have been set free. God is the boss. We dripping the sauce. I'm done with the all me. Just pray that you ready. Cause these are the facts. I'm coming with stats. I'm not looking back. It's time to attack. My king is my dad. I'm not feeling bad. It's time that I grab. My spot is my chance. I'm doing my dance. I just had to spaz. I just got a blast. I'm coming in last. I'm pressing the gas. I'm making me laugh. You mad? That's so sad. It's how I react. I'm taking it back. You still coming for me? Where they at?
And that was Loco by Joshua Scales. I have a story I want to tell you guys. So I recently went on a date, and I didn't know this woman at all. She's like barely messaging me. And so we go on this date around the lake, and it was a good time. And I come to find out she used to be like an international model, and she did that for like 20 years. So I'm not going to talk about the date specifically, but I do have something to tell you. So I get to the end of the date. I'm walking her to her car, and she's like, "Oh, it's the red one." And I look over, and it's like an $85,000 Porsche. And then she asked me what I'm driving, and I gotta be like, a Mini Cooper. So I wasn't ready, you know, like, so I didn't know how it's, I mean, she said it was fitting, whatever. I don't even care if we end up going on another date. That's whatever. But 718 Cayman Sport, red, probably $90,000, give or take, before tax and title and all that stuff. So my question to you people is, what is the craziest random thing like that happened to you on a date? Open forum.
I can't share that.
Ooh, okay. That's fair.
Y'all, I want to hear your guys' stories though.
Wow. Okay.
I can't share mine. It's very
Marvin, I want to know your messed up dating life.
Let's move on to someone else. Thanks, Alex. Just hit us with the shovel yet again.
Yes, once again.
Man.
Actually got a question for you, Richie.
Okay, let's counterpoint. Sure.
Yeah, okay, because like I can see how that from your perspective is like a crazy thing that happened, but like what did it make you feel? How did it make you feel that the woman you're on a date with has like this like luxury car? What were you thinking?
Oh, honestly, I wasn't thinking anything of it from that perspective. Like, put it this way. It's not about like gender role, and it's not about like who makes money and things of that nature. I think it just caught me off guard because, you know, you see these luxurious things like you just mentioned, and I never expected to like meet someone who actually owned one of those, I would say.
It didn't make you feel like insecure at all, or like that you wish you had had?
No, honestly, no. I just found it kind of entertaining from the perspective of, like I said, like she has this really fancy bourgeois car, and then mine's like literally half the price of hers. So it was just kind of entertaining because it's like hers is this sexy sports car, and mine's like, I don't know, this like Italian job joke of a car to some people. I mean, I love my car. It's my favorite car. I have no shame in my Mini Cooper. It's a
You said Mini Cooper, right? I wanted a Mini Cooper for so long. I still do.
It's my favorite car ever, like by far. Anyone that's ever been in my car loves the experience because it is a good car. I mean, I can go, very quickly on my car. Having a great time.
So fine. You go fast and furious in your car.
Yeah, very Italian job, Fast and Furious, one might add. You know, I'm surprised it hasn't been on the movies, quite frankly, being honest at this point. But no, it takes turns really well, and out here in California, it's one of the few cars that can actually like handle the turns. And
you can handle all the curves in your car?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
1000%.
Okay,
I haven't been in your Cooper, so I didn't know.
Yeah, Alex.
So are you going to ask her on another date, or what's the follow-up?
We have another date. It's this week. We're going to go to the beach, and we're going to go just for a walk. She moved to an island that I used to live on, Alameda. So we're going to go on the island, go for a walk, and I'm going to take her to one of the restaurants she's never been. So,
are you going to rent a car?
Am I going to rent a car? No.
That was my follow-up question.
Her car.
No. Do you need a yacht? She's on a island.
No, Tony's right. clearly this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to go to the island. We're going to go meet on the beach. And then I'm going to go drive her car. That's what's going to happen. Clear as day. I've never gotten to drive a Cayman. I want to drive a Cayman. I mean, come on, man. Unless she's not going to let me drive it. If she's not going to let me drive it, then we'll just walk to the restaurant. Because my car is not coming on the island. I live so close, I'm just going to walk over. So.
All right. Well, actually, I do have a story from a date, because that your story reminded me of. This guy. This was years ago. Like way back when I first moved to Nashville. He asked to go to a show, and I had actually gone to college with him, but I didn't know him very well. He knew me more than I knew him, but I didn't want him to pick me up, and I can't remember why, because I like to be in control. So I met him, but as soon as I pulled into where he lived, he ran at me while I was in my car and hopped into my car. I was like, I hope it's okay if we take your car. And then, so that like started everything off on a really weird foot for me. And then we went to the show and everything was fine. And then I dropped him off at home afterwards, and he asked me if I would walk him to the door. And so, and I did, but you guys, I never forgot that ever. And he called me a bunch of times after that date. He's left me voicemail messages. I saved them just like to remember the memories that we shared from that one date. And I still listen to them every now and then. But you guys, he didn't get another date with me.
I got a question.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Alex and Richie show on H2G.
Save the recording, and you listen to them sometimes.
I do.
Inquiring mind wants to know. Why do you listen to them?
I'll let you know, because I'm so like enthralled by like human psychology. I don't know. And so like I've like thought back. I don't know why it happened that way. I've come up with about 1 million reasons why it has, but every now and then just like logistically, my voicemail will fill up and I have to delete messages, and I'm always faced with the decision whether or not I should delete some of his voicemails, and I realize I don't want to ever delete them. They're so good. And I'll tell you what, there's one where like he left me a voicemail when I was driving to work one morning, and it was like, he was like, hey, I just saw this thing that's being built by where you work, and I was wondering if you know what it is. Bye. And that's basically what it was, and it just felt like an excuse to reach out, but it didn't feel genuine. But it's fun. I mean, it was fun to like watch it all play out, you know what I mean? But if he had been more genuine with me and said, hey, I want to talk and whatever, then we would have probably talked a little bit longer than we did.
Sure. He was just playing games, basically. He wasn't.
Yeah, and he was really insecure about it.
Into you, and yeah.
Yeah, and I think that he probably rehearsed that message a few times, and I could tell. But he's a sweet guy. Like, he's a nice person, smart guy. And yeah, I'm sure he's thriving and doing great.
I had a follow-up question though for you guys, particularly off Alex's story.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about ghosting?
Oh!
Because that is the new phenomenon nowadays. Like, you can just cut them all off. You can block them. You can block the number. You can do everything you can to avoid a person today through technology. So I just want to know what you guys' thoughts were on ghosting.
Well, she doesn't ghost people. She keeps the messages so that way she can break them down.
Daily reminder.
For a reminder. She's doing some kind of psychological study.
Okay, micro-aggressive forms of ghosting.
Marv. All right, I got one. All right, so honestly, to me, I think nowadays it's very prevalent, ghosting. It's kind of a tricky subject because, like, as a man, it's much easier for me to discuss this in the sense of there's no sense of like safety or security in that sense. For women, sometimes they have to be concerned with how is this man going to deal with, like how is he going to react? So that's a very serious thing. So I understand for a lot of women, sometimes it's not easier. That's what a lot of people like to think, but it's more of the safer option for them to just not engage and just like disassociate and just let this person like go away on their own, so to speak. So I'm not going to try to judge another person. I personally don't like doing that. If I don't feel like I have a connection with someone, I'm very upfront about it. I don't try to just ignore like it's a thing. If she's saying, hey, what's up? Like, I'm kind of a jerk in the sense that I'll be very direct and be like, oh, you know, like, just so you know, I just don't feel like we have that type of energy where this would be a relationship, but I'm glad to be friends. And hey, here's what's up. I mean, sometimes I could do it the other way around, but I just like to be very direct right from the get-go on my hand. But like I said, like, I can only speak as a man. So as women, I feel like there's so many more things in the spectrum of dating that they have to think about. And realistically, why that's something that I don't feel like is fair to say is it's a bad thing. There's reasons for why people do things. And a lot of the times we come to judgments when we don't understand the reasoning behind it. So that's my perspective.
I appreciate that, Richie. Like, I love the honesty. I love just people who are direct. Then you're not wasting anyone's time. You're not wasting your own time. You're not letting someone spin their wheels if they are on a different page than you are. And that's hard to come by, is like people who are just honest and upfront with you. And I think that I'm that way, and I love people who are that way. But then I think back, and like, technically speaking, there were probably instances where someone felt like I ghosted them, and there's different reasons for doing that, but I don't think that it's the best approach, especially if you're consciously aware that you're doing that. You've made a choice to just not communicate with someone or to not respond. I just feel like it's sort of an easy out. And yeah, there's a lot of reasons why people do what they do, and every situation is different. But if you are someone who just makes a habit of doing that because it's more convenient for you and you don't have to deal, that kind of sucks, because you don't know how that's affecting the other person, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I pretended to change my number once so this person wouldn't text me.
That sounds like you.
See, I feel like
this is why
it's circumstantial.
This right here.
That's what you're saying.
Well, this person wouldn't stop texting me, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh, who is this? Yep, nope, not her phone anymore.
Wait, that's kind of brilliant. I love that.
I wouldn't say that I completely disagree with ghosting. I mean, sometimes people just don't get the hint. You can't get them to leave you alone, so you just have to, stop responding, ignore it,
right.
It goes away type of deal.
You have to have boundaries for sure. If someone's like overstepping those and it comes to that point, then yeah, you have to do what you have to do, at the end of the day.
But I feel like, okay, so as a girl, if someone tries to ghost you, I feel like it's a challenge. Like, oh, you're not going to answer me? Hang on, I'm going to annoy the out of you. I'm going to drive by your house. I'm going to be the creeper just because I know. We got the last
saying. Oh my goodness. I've had somebody do that. You don't even understand how triggering it is. I had somebody drive by my apartment, saw a car in front of my apartment, and she started blowing up my phone. Who's that? Insert foul language. What is she doing there? And just to clarify, this person was not dating me. So hearing stuff like that is just horrifying to me, because
oh my god,
his tires were still intact.
Yes. And this one, my tires were still intact, just to clarify. I did not slice my tires. That's a different story, in a different state, and a different period of my life. Okay, Marv?
Yeah, I got you. Tony, how you feel, man?
Well, I mean, listening to everyone talk about ghosting, it kind of made me think of a story about a date that I went on with Carrie. And this goes back to like the question that was brought up like 15 minutes ago from Richie. But the most awkward time was I went on a date with Carrie. We went out and we saw this other guy that was interested in Carrie. I mean, we weren't really exclusive, so we were just going on a couple of dates. And so she told me that was the guy that she also was talking to that was interested in her. And I said, okay, so, whatever, I don't have to worry about him. I just need to worry about me. So later on, I find out that she went on a date after our date, after I dropped her off with the guy. And I was just like, really? Wow. Like, that's interesting.
Same night?
That same night. That same night. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
how do you feel about that?
That made me think of, well, look at me now.
That was great.
That's how I feel about it. At the time, I'm sure I felt very salty, but now it's irrelevant. But it made me think of that. That's probably the craziest story that I have.
Yeah, that's pimping by Carrie. I got to be honest.
That is pretty pimping.
I've never been so proud of my sister before.
Salute her.
You know what? I will say something. There was a guy I dated in college, and so I had like Justin, I had a high school sweetheart literally for like 7 years on and off, and we were during an off time in college, and I met this guy. He's a musician. He ultimately moved to Nashville, and we reconnected, and he's awesome. But back in college, like, we were casually dating, and I was still not over my ex, and that was still happening, and I totally ended up ghosting him. I remember it. Like, I remember it so well, and that's not really how I am, but I didn't know what to do. And I remember I just was like, I don't know, I feel like it's when you have like almost like a lack of respect for someone too. I hate to say that, but I mean, if you truly respect somebody, you don't do that. So I must not have really respected him or cared that much. And then time went on, things didn't work out with my ex. And I remember feeling like I felt more attracted to that guy I ghosted because he was so, like, he handled himself so well and carried himself well. He didn't get mad at me. He didn't blow up my phone. He let it go. He like bettered himself, and when I had time to process all of that, like, that was attractive. Like, I don't know, there's something to be said for when you like cut off ties with someone and how it can actually make you see things clear down the road, and you can bond later on, depending on how you handle the ghosting situation.
I feel it's like it depends on like how toxic the relationship is. I feel if you are in a friendship with someone or a relationship and you're continuously like getting hurt by this person, and they're purposely doing something to you, I feel like if you carefully like evaluate the relationship and you get to a conclusion where you want to cut off communication, I feel like that person shouldn't be like, I don't know, demonized because they're cutting off people. Yeah, from outside perspective, it can seem like it's immature, but I feel like you will gain a better perspective of yourself when you remove toxic people away from your life. I feel like it's applicable. Ghosting is so applicable when like you have someone in your life who is continuously making you unhappy, and they're gaining joy out of that. That's called manipulation. Like, I feel like you shouldn't have to tie yourself down to a relationship or a friendship based off the connection or the foundation, because when you go back to it, it could be like, man, I really don't even know why I was friends with that person in the first place. So I don't know. I just think like it depends on the relationship and how much you value it. And if that person has come correct, being remorseful about what they've done, then you can come back together. But if they haven't, I feel like ghosting is necessary. That's just me.
Preach, Marv, preach. Like, I had somebody, I had to cut her off completely, like block her. I let her know. It's not like I just did it. Well, not you, Christy, shut up. But I let her know. I was like, hey, our relationship is toxic. Situationship really, but I said relationship. Anyways, I had to block her on Instagram and even Snapchat and all these other weird things that I forgot I had, because she would find something to message me. So here's what you don't know if you've never had it happen. You can do all those things. You can Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, phone number, and you think you're good. And then they just make a new account and they start messaging you. And you're just like, why don't you go away? But I totally agree. Like, I had to keep doing that. And it was like 3 months of like these random accounts. And obviously it's the same person. It's like, like they just keep coming back and just keep trying to get back into your life. And honestly, I never understood why that happens in that sense, because it's like, they're not respecting your boundaries. So what you said is one of those few times where I do agree. See, from my perspective, I don't view that as ghosting from my end, because I feel like ghosting is the situation where it's not addressed that you're cutting contact and you just stop contact, right? Like
Right.
So I think it's a different scenario, but it's bizarre how like we're in a society now where somebody can get access to you once they had some blip of information. They can keep getting access to you, right? Like it doesn't matter if you set your account to private and these other things, they still have ways to like find a way to message you or use somebody else's phone to like text you. And it's just insurmountable. I honestly wish I was born like 500 years ago so I wouldn't have to deal with this shit, to be honest. I don't know how else to say it. It happens a lot where people just keep chasing after you and you're just like, dude, please stop.
Wait, was she making fake accounts and like contacting you with fake identities?
She was making new accounts, like you know who this is kind of thing. That's 87 and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people do that with me too, but a lot of them don't admit that it's them coming from this fake account, but you know it. You know in your gut. Like,
that's what, right. So we're on the same page. That's what happened, and that's what's happened before and a couple of times. It's very alarming and disrupting because you're never ready for that to happen.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Like, you think they're gone from your life, and then all of a sudden you get this message from fake account 72, and then here they are again. Like,
I'm back.
Or me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's the one thing I can't say for Christy. As much as I give her crap, she's never done anything like that.
Oh, I've been issued a challenge now. Be ready for my fake account 08.
Oh no!
I'm coming for ya.
And folks, no matter what you feel about ghosting, just know that if the house is on fire, you need to get out. And with that, here's Jake Paluski with In a House on Fire.
Wasn't me who held the knife, but the blood in my hands was the blood of your life. Was a long road to a quick demise. A love like ours comes around sometimes, bright like the sun. It leaves you blind, destined to die alone. Your love felt more like war, broken bodies, an unsettled score. All the smoke, it burns my lungs. If there's nothing that's a saving in a house on fire, could you stay a while? I've been breathing, but I'm still believing. If there's nothing more, what are we living for? You always wanted to be free, but at what cost to you and to me? Your hate destroyed us both. And now, in the end, the sun will never rise again. The flames engulfed all hope. If there's nothing that's a saving in a house on fire, could you stay a while? I've been breathing, but I'm still believing. If there's nothing more, what are we living for? nothing that's a saving in a house on fire. Could you stay a while? If there's nothing that's a saving in a house on fire, could you stay a while? I'm barely breathing, but I'm still believing. If there's nothing more, what are we living for?
No matter how much I try to forget, I'm forced to remember. There are no flowers on unmarked graves. Death is imminent, so I pray for a quick sleep. The cloud from the blast, before dead open eyes, you'll find me amongst the dead.
All right, In a House on Fire by Jake and the Venom. So guys, another subject that I think we can talk about. Did everybody get a chance to watch Hamilton yet? I know Richie and I have been trying to get you guys on board here.
I have not.
A little bit.
A little bit? You watched just a little bit of it? How did you turn it off?
What's a little bit? What's a little bit, Tony? Okay.
I have kids.
Excuse. I'll shut my mouth.
It's okay.
Well, I'm going to implore you once again, definitely check it out. But they've also put the documentary up that Richie had mentioned when we first talked about Hamilton coming. And a lot of it was like recorded still through Zoom. But many of the castmates, and they go through a lot of the fun that they had backstage creating the show and their expectations for the show and how they've been succeeded. But one of the things that Lin-Manuel Miranda talked about kind of stuck out to me, and I thought we could get into it on the show. The moderator had asked him, what did you change in Hamilton for the release on Disney Plus? And he said, other than the cursing that was omitted, nothing. And that's the point. He was saying, the moderator was essentially asking if Lynn had changed anything about Hamilton to coincide with the events like the Black Lives Matter and what's all going on with that right now. And he said, no, it just applies because this has been an issue for that long. And this is a show about history. And I wanted to get you guys' takes on him having, and it was like he had no pause at all. He was like, nothing's changed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to see it back in November. Ended up having to sell the tickets when it was live. And so it's hard for me to sit here and say, had things changed. But I'm going to take him at his word that things didn't really change. From my understanding, it was just the free profanities, I believe, in some of the songs. I don't know what else to say other than all you need to watch it.
Yeah.
It's only been about like 2 months to be begging. But outside of that, great show. Super awesome. For the love of God, watch it.
All right, Richie. Okay, just so I'll watch it.
Is that Harry Potter?
This is 20
hours of content. It's like 2 hours, man.
Well, see, you and Justin had me until there. You'll have me a better chance of watching Hamilton than watching Harry Potter.
That's all I ask.
Well,
it's significantly better than Harry Potter. And I know I'm going to stir up some of the audience with that one.
I see sour faces in the studio. You don't got to worry about the audience.
You got a better shot
to your manager.
Watching Hamilton. You already sold me on it. The documentary's out. I just got to watch it now.
Call my manager, because after how I've seen who that author really is as a person, I'm totally on board with smack talking now. I'm ready. Let's go.
The coolest thing for me about the entire show that I think you guys will appreciate is where it all came from. And I definitely recommend the documentary along with, because it led me to a YouTube video of the Hamilton mixtape being done at the White House Poetry Jam. And it was just Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he does the whole opening number, the title song, pretty much by himself. And it sounded way different, but it was cool to see it go from that to where it's at now. And now, like, the importance that the show has with everything that's going on, and the fact that it's, like he said, we didn't have to change anything. We're talking about history. This was present then and it's present now. I just thought that was cool and I'd share.
Well, you know me, I'm always on board with you sharing about my favorite play, quite frankly. And I'd keep going into that, but I think I've expressed it enough at this point that it's amazing and worth watching.
So that's your favorite play, Richie. So my question is to Marvin and Alex and Christy that haven't seen Hamilton, what's your favorite musical?
Ooh. It's probably between Chicago and Rent because I just love Cell Block Tango. Who doesn't love talking about murder? Like, it's so good.
I do like Chicago and I do like Rent.
Yeah, and I don't want to pay rent, so
that's nothing to do with Rent, but yes.
Wait.
Chicago might be one of the sexiest musicals that has ever hit Broadway. I mean, we saw that. That was one of the ones that we saw in New York, and that was my take even then, that was hot.
I would love Roxy Hart is one of the roles I would love to play. Like for sure. I do love that musical. But my favorite, I know people have asked me this before and I've answered it, but in this moment, I don't even know what my favorite musical is. I really don't. Like, I can't think of it. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But there's so many good ones. And, but also, like, I'm not a huge musical person, which is weird because I guess, like, I was, like, a high school theater kid and I did that in college, too. And after college, like, professionally. But like, I don't keep up with it a ton, like a lot of my actor friends do, as far as, like, what's happening now and, like, Hamilton. Like, I know about that, of course, but I just haven't seen it yet. But, I mean, people have raved about it, so I know I need to see it for sure.
My next question is what are you doing to your feet?
Oh my God.
Are you taking care of those toes or what's going on?
I guess I like had a lapse in like self-awareness. I didn't realize that you were watching me. I'm talking to my cat. No, she's
That didn't help.
That didn't help.
What's your cat's name? Let's move on. What's the cat's name? Is it Tyrion?
Calico?
What's your
my cat's name? Clover.
Clover. Okay.
Clover.
What kind of cat is it?
What color?
She's a black cat. She's got glowing bright green eyes, which is why I named her Clover. But actually, I manifested that cat. I like dreamed her up for the 2 years before I got her. I got her from a shelter. Oh my God! Hey, honey. Speaking of the devil, she just walked right by. That's so cute. No,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's just the cat was on your right and now it's on your left. Okay, continue.
Because I was joking when I said I was talking to my cat.
I know you were.
Okay, good. No, she literally just walked by because she felt that I was talking about her.
Her ears were burning.
Her ears were burning, yes. Do you guys have pets?
No, you can't cop out of that. Tell the story.
I feel like that was a really smooth transition now.
Manifested clothes.
I did. So I knew I wanted a black cat with green eyes, and I knew I wanted it to be a girl. I don't know. I had all these specifics. I had her name picked out already. I just knew it was going to happen. And then I always was running into black cats when I would go on walks and stuff, and literally with green eyes. And so I'm allergic to cats too. I'm allergic to a lot of animals, but for some reason that didn't stop me. And now, like, I've not taken allergy medication in the 3 years that I've had her. My body just somehow adjusted. I don't know how. But at the time, my boyfriend and I, we went to the shelter and we were looking at animals and cats and dogs, and they had some, well, actually, they didn't really have many black cats. So we were going to get a different cat, and literally we showed up the next day to pick up this cat, this like very friendly, outgoing orange cat. And literally the minute before we got there, she was taken. So I'm like emotional. So I was like really upset about it. And I went to leave, and the woman working there was like, "Hey, have you seen Samantha?" she's a black cat and she has green eyes. And I was like, no, I have not seen her. So she showed me Clover, and I visited that shelter like 5 times and never saw this cat at all until this woman pointed her out to me. So it was meant to be, I think.
Well, thank you for your story about Clover and your obsession with cats and being allergic. And
yes, well, you're welcome.
Marvin, do you have a favorite musical or?
I'm right there with Alex. I'm not really a big musical theater guy. I haven't seen one yet. But I do know musical theater actors. You know, being in the industry, I have a few that are friends, and it is a lot of work that they put in, from the singing, the physicality of it. But, you know, I will do my homework, and I will go watch my first musical when we get back to some form of normal, whenever that is.
Okay, I got you.
I gotta say, Hamilton's not my favorite musical. It is an amazing musical, and I definitely recommend it. Well, it can be amazing there's so many good ones. I Into the Woods is like my hands down favorite. It's by Stephen Sondheim, and we did that. And I think that's why I love it. I have a respect for the music itself. It is tough.
It was so tough. I feel like it was a huge accomplishment. I remember like day one, we were looking at the music and everything, and we're like, how are we going to do this? And we pulled it off. But yeah, you know, like normally that probably wouldn't be like a favorite of mine, but I think because we went through that, I've got a special place for it in my heart.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's all your favorite fairy tale creatures if you haven't seen it, like tossed in this crazy conundrum with incredible music by Stephen Sondheim. I definitely.
Yeah. It's intense. What was your role again?
Oh no. I was Jack, like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yes, that's right.
and you were Cinderella.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Well, my favorite, I actually have my top 3. Wicked would be at the top. And then I also like The Wiz, which is basically kind of like Wicked, but different because it's not the witch's perspective. And then I liked Hello Dolly a lot.
Is it a musical?
I'm sorry?
That counts as a musical?
What, The Wiz?
The Wiz?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we did that in college.
Yeah, The Wiz is a musical. Buddy.
What are you talking about?
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot, yeah.
I forgot.
You forgot.
Wiz all day.
Yeah.
Anything else? I just haven't seen it.
Speaking of urinating.
It always goes back to that, Christy.
Oh, man.
It's always on my mind.
It's always on your mind.
I mean, what do you expect? She's pregnant. Anytime she laughs, she pees. Anytime she farts, she pees. Anytime she burps, she pees. Anytime she thinks about peeing, she pees. She's probably peeing right now because we're talking about peeing.
When she listens to the Pee Attention episode of the H2G podcast, she pees.
She pees, yes.
That is all facts. So are there any other shows that people try and force on you that you still haven't watched? Like mine is Breaking Bad. I refuse to watch it just because everybody's like, you haven't seen it? Go watch it. No, it's just I'm protesting it. Okay.
I was like that with Game of Thrones.
That's what I was going to say. Yep,
Alex, see? Teams no Game of Thrones.
That's the unfortunate
you've never seen Game of Thrones, Marvin?
I have. It didn't grab me.
Oh, what?
You know, out here,
it grabs everyone.
It didn't grab me. Or probably Alex, like, listen, y'all, this is how I feel. We're going through some really rough times right now. We're living this is real life, you know? And I just feel like that show doesn't resonate with current time. It's just me.
That's a fair perspective. I think others watch it so that they can escape the thoughts of the current times.
I mean, everyone's doing it. What isn't entertaining about that?
No. She doesn't count. Let me clarify here.
She doesn't count.
No, she doesn't count right now. Her opinion is completely invalid.
She doesn't count.
Genuinely.
Are you saying that a woman's opinion doesn't matter, Richie?
Just yours. Alex is totally matter. Yours doesn't. All right, let's clarify here. All right, so her dog is named after Sansa, a character from the show. And let me emphasize that. the show. That's the type of person she is. I read these books. All right. So when everyone was like, oh, watch the TV show, it's so amazing, this, that, and the other. And I honestly had this very contrarian, like, well, off, I'm not going to watch this television show. And I ended up watching it years down, like, later. But, like, I feel like I was right. And here's what I mean by I was right. Everyone said it was so amazing, so amazing. What happened after, like, season 8? Everybody who loved that TV show all of a sudden hates it now and would never even rewatch it. Most of those people, all right? Like, that's the thing with television. It's just like so hit or miss in the sense of like directors and like writers. And when they change, things change. You read a book, it's one author, same voice, very consistent. It does not change. So like, I honestly think A Song of Ice and Fire is an incredible series. I think Game of Thrones, the first 5 seasons were really good. But I definitely think that show is like super overhyped. By that
I like how our animals have names of like TV shows and musicals and stuff like that we love.
Yeah, what's Zoe from?
Clover. Zoe is named after Zoe Deschanel, who played Dorothy in one of the Wizard of Oz spinoffs. You like what I did there, didn't you? You didn't even know that, did you?
Well done.
Yeah.
And the spinoff was Tin Man. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. Just like the Kevin Costner movies that I want you to watch, which is 3 Days to Kill, The Highwayman.
Back to season 1.
Just so you know.
Man, send that over to me.
I just told you. I don't need to send it. I just told you.
Yeah, just told you.
Oh my goodness.
I'll play it back later.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
On the topic of TV, since we're going there, what's a TV show or movie series or whatever that you do like, that you do watch, that you would recommend to us?
High Fidelity.
Oh, whoa, she already beat me to the punch. High Fidelity. Alex, what's it about?
What? What's it about?
Yeah.
So I said it so quickly because I literally never watch TV, which is so weird because it's sort of my industry. But when I do, I have been hearing about High Fidelity. I love Zoe Kravitz so much. So that's kind of what pulled me to it. But I didn't realize until looking into it further that it's actually sort of a spinoff from the like 80s movie High Fidelity with John Cusack. So he was like the main character in that movie. And then Zoe Kravitz's mom, Lisa Bonet, right? She was in that movie. So then when the writer was writing High Fidelity, he like flipped it. So it was like a gender flip. So the lead character was a woman, which is Zoe's character. And I don't know, I personally loved it. Like, it's super relatable. It's like about all of her past dating fails. And I loved it. I watched the entire first season in one day, like one day at night.
Okay, that says something because you're not a big TV person, so.
Exactly. But I was super into it and I can't wait for a second season.
Awesome. Well, there we go. That's a great start. Justin, how about you?
I got 1.5. The half is if you haven't ever checked out any of the Netflix Marvel series, there's some people that think some of them stink. I thought they were all good. But there's actually a show on HBO Max called Love Life that I literally only turned on for Anna Kendrick. And got hooked. And same thing, watched I think the whole season in a day or two.
Okay.
While editing. Yeah, it was very good. I don't think it's for the youngins, but it's a solid show. Check it out.
Well, it's HBO. You know, usually the youngins don't get access to that anyways. Christy, how about you?
I have 2. The classic, just Parks and Recreation in general, just hilarious.
Okay,
Love Parks and Rec. And then Working Moms. So funny and kind of prepares you for all the things that are going to happen in the future. I mean, lovely things. Sorry.
It's lovely. Lovely things coming in 2 months. Clear.
Yep. 2 months. Woo!
Marv.
So excited, Christy. Mine's Power. It was a show that for the longest people were telling me to watch. And when I did this past Christmas, I watched the whole 6 seasons. Man, it was so captivating. Like Amari Hardwick, Joe Sikora, the story, you'll just see like the arc of two brothers from two cultural backgrounds, but you don't really see that during the show. You just see an arc of rising to the top and then wanting to stay there and then dealing with the consequences of being there while trying to get out. So I just think that show is like, it takes you on a ride. It really does. So I would recommend that to anybody. That and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Can't go wrong. Tony, how about you, buddy?
All right, so one, if you've never seen it, it's Black Mirror, and it's on Netflix. It's actually one of my favorite series of, it's different stories that are put together, and it's very out of the like Twilight Zone type of feel. So, I mean, that's one of my favorites. The Viking, if you've never seen it, The Viking's really good. And before you watch The Viking, I would recommend that you watch Spartacus. But that's just my style of genre that TV shows.
Very epic
like.
genre.
Yeah,
fair.
Very epic.
Sons of Anarchy is another one I forgot.
Well, Sons of Anarchy is one of the ones that people push on me that I've never seen, so I can't really comment on that.
Hey, give it. It's if you want to give it a chance, but you're in for a long ride. They had a lot of those, and now they've got a spin-off and everything else. I haven't checked that out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, I know I'm in my mid-30s at this point, so it's going to be weird to say this, but Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, I actually thought that was like super dope. I'm not a big TV person myself, but it was just one of those things that kind of caught my eye because, you know, I was like watching it when I was a kid and seeing like Salem the Cat, and like, I will spoil it for you, Salem the Cat's not like the same jokey cat, so that really disappointed me, but yeah, really cool show. I think this upcoming season's like the series finale. It's like it's like a much more dark version of like the whole Wicked and witch thing, but it's really cool. I definitely think it's worth checking out. So, Sabrina.
All right, this is my song, Mirrors and Smoke.
Your hand falls heavy in mine.
So, you guys, you folks out there, I wanted to know your thoughts on zodiac signs and how much emphasis you put into them and how much you think things that happen in your life are coincidence because of them.
Alex, can you take it away? Because you said Marv was a Leo, and then you got
I know.
about his energy. So it sounds like you take zodiacs a little serious.
So I'm not gonna lie, I am into all that kind of stuff and beyond. But as far as taking it seriously, I wouldn't say I take it seriously, but I'm definitely interested. Like if there's someone I meet that I'm interested in, it's like one of the first things I want to do is like look up their birth chart. And actually some things you can't find out unless you have someone's birth time. So you're always trying to find a casual way to bring it up, like, hey, what time were you born?
So you try to find those little tidbits, those little clues. Like you're like an investigator.
Exactly.
Oh,
you have no idea, Marvin. You can go so deep into this, but like a lot of people, when they say, you know, what's your sign? You're talking about your sun sign. But the things that make up in a person's personality it's so nuanced. Like your birth chart includes so many different placements, and those all impact, you know, your personality and things like that. And literally there's not one person that has walked this earth or will walk this earth that has the same exact birth chart as you, which I find so cool. Like in that way, it's like having your own signature, your own like thumbprint that is unique. And a sun sign, like saying I'm a Leo or I'm a Capricorn, is not gonna like convey that much about a person. You need a lot more information. But nonetheless, I don't take it so seriously in the way that it would like keep me from having someone in my life or anything like that. But it's definitely something that intrigues me and I love to learn about and talk about with other people who are interested in it.
Can you guess who, like what sign belongs to each of us? I mean, you obviously got Marvin already.
So, and again, like people lead with different things. Like a lot of people lead with their rising sign. So it kind of camouflages like their other placements. So it can be difficult, especially for me. Like when I had a friend ask me the same question. I like was meeting him for the first time and I was really bold and I was like, are you an Aquarius? And he was, and he had a lot of like that Aquarius energy, but I felt it from his vibe and we were in person, which is a little different, but like, and he asked me what his birthday was and I guessed it. Like my first guess in my head was his actual birthday, but what I said out loud, I was being shy and I was like 2 days off, but my first guess was correct, which is crazy. But I don't know. I'm not going to guess because I feel on the spot, but I feel like I would be, I don't know, like.
Come on, take a stab at it. You can do it, girl.
A little stab.
Don't you want to be like those carnival people where you guess somebody's weight?
I won't get mad.
Yeah, you can guess my weight too. That'd be fun.
No, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, switch my weight.
No more shots at yourself.
Okay, I'm going to guess, but this probably won't be right, but I don't know. Christy, are you a Pisces sun or do you have any Pisces placements that you know of?
I only know my sign. My legit sign.
She's not a Pisces, but she doesn't know the rest of that, I can promise.
Right. But, and you guys, you can look it up too. It's so fun. Like you can, if you don't know what any of this stuff is, you can literally, there's generators online and you just like plug in your birthday, or if you have your birth time, then it'll tell you all the stuff. It's super interesting. Also, have you guys heard about human design at all?
No.
Please.
I'm super into that. It's very new though. It's not got as long of a history as like zodiac signs and all of that, but it literally is the study of your energy type and how you best like can conduct your energy to get things accomplished and get things done and like serve yourself better, because not everyone can work the same exact way. So it like takes into account, are you better at like executing things? Are you better at kind of like observing others and then giving advice? Or it's really, really interesting. And that's another one you can just like plug in your information. It'll give you all of this information about yourself, which is pretty cool.
I wouldn't be able to guess people's signs. Actually, I can sometimes guess when someone has the same sign as me.
I'm trying to guess you, Christy.
Tony's sign is.
You can't guess mine. Yes,
That's
Christy.
cheating.
Yeah, you can't guess mine. That's like me guessing yours.
I'll guess Tony's and I'll guess Christy and I'll guess mine. And I'll guess
I guess you already know mine.
Yeah, I'll guess everybody's. Why not? Well, I know Marv's a Leo.
Yes, and you literally have that tiger behind you, which is perfect.
Yeah. And then Tony, you're a Leo too, right? No, you're a Cancer? Oh, you a Cancer. Excuse me. I apologize. Oh, Justo.
And I got the poker glasses on.
I know. That's why I'm so salty right now. I have no way of knowing.
And I don't follow this at all.
I don't remember the one.
Like, I don't follow zodiacs at all.
Richie's a Libra.
Yeah, you spoiled it. I am a Libra, but I have a story about that. Justin, you are.
I can guess Justin if you don't get it right, Richie. I love this game.
All right, I'm gonna go with Gemini.
Yeah. No, I'm a Gemini.
Thank you. Christy, you are. Hold on, I know this.
You should know it.
I know. I should.
We were married.
Horrible husband.
And this is the real reason we got divorced.
You're a Virgo. You're a Virgo.
Yes, I guess Alex, if you don't get this right, Richie.
Oh, you know Marv?
I want to take a stab at it, but if you want to, go ahead. I can guess you.
Look at him. He's so I'm not confident, Alex.
A minute of stuff. Based on your energy, I'm going to say
she ain't a Taurus.
You're a Capricorn, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I am.
Yes. I have a feeling. I have a lot of Capricorn friends, and they share that same similar energy.
What is it? Like, can you verbalize what it is?
Just really cool exterior. I can say that cool, calm, and collected, like the queens and kings of practicality.
Oh man,
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like, they just got that, and Libra's got it too. Like y'all, wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Alex probably knows this stuff more, but I'm just going to clarify when I say at a story. My thought process of this whole sun thing is my birthday's September 23rd specifically. Now, allegedly, that used to be what they called the cusp, where I was technically on the Virgo and Libra, and then they said something about Pluto being closer, or X, Y, and Z, and they changed the date. So now technically, I'm solely a Libra, and I'm no longer on the cusp. So I'm a Libra. So that's the story about it. I mean, I think I don't really know horoscopes that well. I mean, I understand what a Libra is and what a Virgo is, and I would say between my personality that I do probably more identify with the Libra, because I'm much more about keeping harmony and things like that. So, nonetheless, whatever. You don't count in my life in that sense, because everyone else, I'm very much in harmony and trying to keep the peace, but you're just a disruptive energy to me. I don't know how to
Don't go anywhere, folks. Coming up, we have the last word. This is Get You Through by Ryan Dunlap, H2G podcast.
I'm just an outlaw, ain't got no wheels to run. Fatherless man and a mama's only son. Joker turned toker, a bully without a gun. Still shoot for the top, but the top don't ever come. The world don't spin for you. Do what you gotta do, whatever gets you through. Whatever gets you as a boy than most folks ever have. held the hand of a man, watched him take his final breath. Gambled my life, found out that's something you shouldn't bet. Stared death in the eye, said, I'm not leaving just yet. The world don't spin for you. Do what you gotta do, whatever gets you through. Whatever gets you spin for you. Do what you gotta do, whatever gets you through. Whatever gets you through. Whatever gets you
All right, guys, it is time for the last word, and we have a full house. So we'll get things started with Mr. Tony Ray. Tony, what you got for us?
Well, it was a fun show. I appreciate all of you for being on the show. Thank you, Christy, for being on. Thanks, Alex, for joining us as well. Next week, we're going to go back to the normal format, so stay tuned for that. Happy belated birthday once again to Marvin. His birthday was last Wednesday, August 5th. So he talked a little bit about having fun. I'm glad you had fun on that day. We talked about Zodiac a little bit, so I'm going to end with this. A Cancer may have a hard time expressing exactly what they want or don't want from certain people. That's fair, and that's honest, and that's me. Oh, well. That's my last word.
I love it.
Marvin?
Oh, man. This was a really fun show. Christy, Alex, I want to thank you both for coming on today. We haven't had this much fun in a while. We usually have fun, but not this much fun, talking about everything we can think of. But I just want to thank you all for taking your time out of your schedules every week to listen to us, and looking forward to coming to the regular format next week. Hopefully we have Christy and Alex stop by again and bless us with their presence, and y'all stay safe, and we'll see y'all next week.
Richie.
Yeah, I just want to be an echo chamber at this point. It was great to have our guests here, Christy and Alex. Definitely enjoy having the feminine energy. Kind of changes. It was a pleasure having you on. Last couple weeks have been kind of rough for me, honestly. And so I think what I wanted to discuss was just something else that I talked about last week. I talked about what I do when I get up in the morning. Another thing I always try to think about is I treat life and instances like surfing. Sometimes you go out there and you're looking to catch a wave, and eventually you do, and you have a great time, and it's a magical experience. But, you know, just like surfing, life is an instance of a lot of waiting. It's not always just going to be these highs and these extreme highs. Sometimes it's going to take a long period of time where you're just kind of waiting to see if another wave will ever come. So, you know, part of that is going to be, is it worth waiting for the next wave, or is it not? So if you run into those examples, just make sure you're ready to wait. Don't expect things to always be ups. Don't expect things to always be downs. It's a plateau. It's a cycle. So on that note, have a great week. Happy belated Marvin, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone next week.
Christy.
Well, I don't have as many good words as Richie, but I do want to say thank you for having me. And I do have to pee, so I'm kind of excited that this is wrapping up because I don't want my bladder to explode. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Alex. Last word.
Yeah, thanks for including me, you guys. I literally met you guys through just that artist feature interview, and then it turned into this, which is like making my dreams come true, because I love podcasts and I always secretly wanted to like be one of those podcast people. So this is super awesome. I had a lot of fun today. And yeah, hopefully get to join you guys again. Richie, I love what you said. And that was kind of like where I was going to in my head when I was thinking of a last word. Yeah, like things come in seasons, and this has been a challenging year. Like, it's no secret. Everyone's been going through it. It's been a lot. But things don't stay stagnant. There's a season for everything. Things are always flowing, always changing, always evolving. And if you're having a hard time right now or you're feeling stuck, just keep moving, keep going forward. Tomorrow's the full moon. I know you guys might not be into that, but we're like cycles of the moon, and like literally things are always evolving. And get outside, do a little moon ritual, do a little dance, get your moon water. Christy's laughing at me. I'm not even playing. It's so fun. It's so cleansing. It gets you in touch with nature and with your soul and with everyone else. And it's good vibes. I can feel it. It's like electric energy right now. I feel like good things are going to come.
I'll be like a big echo bucket over here as well. I'm going to thank Christy and Alex for joining us, and you fellows for always bringing who you are to the table. And I think we definitely have to have both of you ladies back. And the sooner the better, in my opinion. Last word for me, you know, it's been a tough year. And I had one of those days yesterday where it's just not anything is going to go right. And it was getting to that point where I'm like, man, I'm really bogged down here. And then I thought about all that has gone right in the midst of all this. I mean, look what we've done. We're in season 2 of a podcast, of a radio show that we all missed, with new friends and new artists. And so I guess my last word is pay attention to some of the little things. Take inventory of what you've gained out of this year, instead of focusing so hard on everything that you've lost and or have to alter at this point, whether it be your mindset, whether it be, masks and cleaning and things like that. Just take inventory of the things that you've gained and try to smile a bit, would you? And as always, live, laugh, and love like it's your last. This has been the H2G podcast. We'll see you next week.
Now some called it less than impressive and smart, but just a little aggressive. The feeling is dead, everyone says, and seriously lacks in direction. Yeah. And it's good that it was sharp, a little rough around the edges. They said what we could do is shape it up or keep on stepping. They think it's funny how we try desperately. They think it's funny how we try so hard. They think it's funny they've been coming around, bringing shade from the start. We got a whole lot of something these people ain't never seen. Oh, and we got a whole lot of something all of these people really need. We finally figured out where we went wrong. Finally understand it's a smooth one. They think it's funny how we try so hard. They think it's funny how we're trying desperately. They think it's funny only coming around to see our ship is sinking. Laughing. these people really need. Figured out where we went wrong. We finally understand it's a smooth one. Don't give up the ship, oh I'm not gonna. I know you put some effort into it, you did. Walking plain shoe, nailed yourself, and I swear it's all in your head. No eyes rolling, only growing size and square footage. While you sit back and laugh and get rich, filthy rich. 'Cause it eventually develops into style. And how we made it here, nobody even knows. Maybe a daydream, a pulp fanzine. We're only here to make your book scream. We got a whole lot of something none of these people ain't never seen. Oh, and we got a whole lot of something all of these people really need.
This has been a Justo's Best production. Thank you for listening.